encourage all the religious institutions. When you're standing against sin, stand and condemn sin without comparison on what people are not doing. Because sin is not equal, but sin is sin. But this is a question that a whole generation of Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed. And for you, you are equating it to a tithe. I think for me this is unacceptable. And I want to believe that that preacher was just trying to make fun and he wasn't serious. But sometimes we do things even when we don't mean them and people take them. Remember, there are followers of preachers. Every time I stand to get a microphone, there are people who follow me. And whatever I say, there are those who take it as a reality. I think it's important that we examine ourselves. And if it means confessing, we do turn up and confess. We are not speaking because we want to discriminate people, but these things have existed all before. We know that we celebrate the martyrs. You know the history, why the martyrs happened. But we have not been coming up to say we must enforce and make sure this is what happens. If I am a doctor, I treat people that come the way they come without properly doing a definition. Now we are having people that are agitating that we should define even the Constitution and remove the question of sex, male and female. There are people who are saying even the Bible should be defined so that the question that in gender sensitives are removed. For instance, the question of saying, man, he, our father, he. I do not know now how we are going to refer to Jesus. Is he going to be she, he? How are we going to refer to Jesus? Because he's properly known as a male. So that's where we have gone. And I know that we want to appreciate everybody that is trying to do an initiative to address this question of morality, the question of homosexuality. My specialty is in gender and sexuality. This is what I understand. But we can deal with the question of the intersex. You know, when you're an intersex, that's the question. And I want Ugandans to separate the categorization of LGBTI and a lot of the things. There are areas. When you address the question of an intersex, that's something you may not do anything about. A person is born either with two physical organs, male and a female organ, or he's born with one, but the other hormones outshine the other. You know the question of Julius, from Juliet to Julius, who was known as a girl from Gayaza High School for up to senior 4, until she realized that the hormones had outgrown and she was properly a man. And Julius today lives as a man. So the question of those two are either medical or something that can be harmonized. And we can properly legislate or get a law or within the medical facilities to have an updated version or to be trained to qualify to manage a condition like that. That is very understandable because I can produce a kid who is like that. You can have a sister who will produce a kid who is like that. Those are questions that we can properly understand and manage. Now, when you deal with these other questions of when you are L, you are lesbian, you are gay, you are bisexual. A bisexual is a person that is attracted to both. You are attracted to your wife with a female, and you can be attracted to your friend with a male. These are things I think that we don't even need to give a lot of airways in terms of definition. I am actually speaking about them because of the vibe that is attached to them. When we have been suffering from a lot of things. People have been killed here. I have not seen any white who comes up to say you are abusing the rights of people. So for me, I think it's a question of morality and how do we work with them. And we know that they have failed you and me. Now they are tackling through schools and young children because they can influence them. By the syllabus, I think we must check on, even the international schools, before we give you a license to operate here, we must supervise and check on the syllabus and check on, you know, the timetable and check on what else do you do with the core curricular activities. Because some of these things are hidden under co-curricular activities. What do you do? Because we can license you properly with the proper documentation, but we must also track what are you doing. And is it time that we redefine the question of rights? I believe that there is gender for me, there is gender for women. And the question of sexual and gender-based violence should not be hidden under this line. So we have what we call sexual, gender-based violence and persecution. There are people that are persecuted because of their gender. There are people that are persecuted, and you know that rape is used as a weapon of war. A man can be raped. So we should differentiate. If a man is a victim of rape, then we should differentiate between that man being either gay or an homosexual, because he has been victimized as used as a weapon of war. And rape is any penetration, and they can penetrate your anal using even a finger, even nails, whatever object can be used to do that. So sometimes men are facing this challenge, but they fear to even walk up to go to hospital because of the victimization that is attached. And our people don't differentiate between the two. The moment you say, I was raped and you're a man, people start thinking, are you talking about something? They may even call it, come and see this one. I think that's a question where we need to give like continuous professional growth to our health workers and people that manage this, so that there is a safety and protection for people like those. So we do a categorization of this. And I expect, and we are going to do a feed-in in the bill that Honorable Asman Basaliba is trying to, so that we give our expertise in this area, because these are things that we have worked with or that we have started to do, and we know. 90% of what is talked about here in Uganda, actually, if you go deeper, it may not be a reality. So people have lived in harmony before. Where is this coming from? I think we now just have to find them. Why is this coming now? We had an anti-homosexuality bill. I expect Parliament to do a study on that. And it was taken to court. It was annulled. And the reasons are not a bit technicality. Matters of procedure, matters of decorum, matters of those. So it is important that when you're coming up to do a law, you come up with a law that can stand the test of time. And I also want to call upon parents, because 90% of how we are influenced is from what we see every day. I expect the daughter of Ismail, Honorable, to be influenced 90% with what they see. The same to my brother here. So what are we doing as parents? Is we have negated and left televisions to mother and parent our kids. It is the TV. As long as I pay the monthly subscription, finished, the TV will mother my kid, the TV will father my kid, the maid will father my kid, and you do not know where this maid is coming from. So we need to create time. Even when we are running on duty, on shift, and all those to cover good stories, you are a parent, you are a father, you are a mother, and you know that young kids can easily be influenced. And sometimes whatever goes to their minds, it's going to be very difficult for you to do anything to change that. So we have to do some role. For instance, how many of us, even if we go late, find out what stories have been told to the kids at school? Who have they met in their lives? Which friend have they met in their lives? Because of socialization and all that. So we must do what we call homeschooling and parental nurturing and mentorship right from home. As the Democratic Party, we believe in a home